Good morning, and welcome to your daily Farm and Home Show, brought to you by the University of Kentucky Cooperative Extension Service. And now, here's your host.
Good morning, I'm Kristi Shive, and this morning we're visiting with Chris Schalk. He's the Agent for Agriculture and Natural Resources in Barren County. Good morning, Chris.
Good morning.
I'm so glad that you're here today.
I'm tickled to death to be here.
Now, you are going to talk about some home safety advice and tips for us, and I think that's so important because many of us are so busy in our day-to-day life that it's something we might forget about.
Right, and it's that time of year, okay? We're getting, as folks start thinking about firing up their heater, it's getting a little cool in the morning, okay? And they're starting to think about firing up their heating systems. And also the time change, I think, is a good time. It just kind of cues us in on some things we need to do.
Yeah, exactly. Now, what do you think are some of the most important tips for people to remember as we're entering this season?
I think the most important thing is that you have some competent, qualified technician to check out your heating system. We can have, a lot of us use gas systems, and so we need to make sure that all those exchangers and whatnot, it's inside the unit, have not received a crack in them or anything like that. So having that professional to check it out, and the reason I get cued into this is what my brother does. So he kind of tells me I need to do this, all right? So, it's kind of a family thing, but, I kind of, he's really put me into that. We need to check, because a lot of times we just go from air conditioning, and the only thing we think about our heating system is we just go to the thermostat and flip it from cool to heat. And there's other things that need to be done at that time too.
Now, the professionals that you mentioned, if someone wanted someone to come into their home, who should they contact?
Contact somebody that they trust, the person they normally use to do their service work and things like that. Most companies have got those service contracts they provide or come in and do those inspections. And, it's easier to, if it's a pretty day, and they're just doing an inspection, sometimes they can ward off a problem than when you wake up on a cold morning and there's no heat in the house and the children are upset or whatnot. So those are things you can do. And also for folks that heat with wood, having that chimney inspected as well, making sure there isn't any critters that have decided to move in there over the summer.
Yes, we know all about that. Now, you have some items for us today. Tell me what you have.
Right. I think one thing that we need to make sure that we forget sometimes our carbon monoxide detector. Okay, these have a shelf life. You need to, according to the manufacturer, you need to replace them whenever. But when it's time to change the clocks, either springing forward or falling back, okay, it's a good time to think about these things. Also, your smoke detectors. A lot of newer homes have got hardwired systems, but they still have a battery backup. So these are very inexpensive, and just picking up those batteries when you stop at the store, I think is a good idea. And just changing them twice a year, that way you're not. It just gives you something to remind you.
Right. It's a good rule of thumb because, like I mentioned, so many people are busy. We often forget about these things, and they are something that could potentially be life-saving.
Very much life-saving. If you talk to fire professionals, firefighters, they'll tell you that these two pieces of equipment are relatively, way less than, right around $20 probably to purchase both of them new. That's good. And of course, the fire extinguisher, those are things that we forget until we need. So just going by and making sure we visually inspect that, making sure it's still in the green, that it's not expired. They do expire over time, and they need annual, just taking a look at, making sure, because again, this is a piece of equipment that you're not going to need until you really, really, really need it. And I think that's a good thing as well.
Now, what is the cost of a fire extinguisher for someone who might not know?
Oh my gosh, they're all over the board, but $20 goes a long way. And we've talked about the holiday season coming up, and I think fire extinguisher stuff make good gifts. Sometimes farmers are really hard to buy for, but those folks need to have that, in the cab of the tractor, cab of the combine. Makes a good gift. And so, if it's some of us older folks are a little harder to buy for.
Well, and many people have kids who are getting an apartment on their own for the first time. So this is a good kind of safety kit to equip with your kids who are in college.
Sure, very practical, very useful kind of stuff. And we talk about children, make sure you go over, how to use this. If you got older children, that can use this, that's definitely something that they can. Make sure you have your fire safety plan in place where you're all going to meet up. just stuff to visit with your own children.
Right. Well, Chris, thank you so much for being here
thanks
today. You are at the Barren County Cooperative Extension Office. So for more information, give your local extension office a call. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day.
If you have questions about today's topic, please call the Warren County Extension Office at the number on your screen. Thanks for watching and have a great day.